This video is sponsored by the Strauss & Wagner SWANCBT501, sent to me by Audio46, which is a $100 Bluetooth headphone there, which for 95 cents more you can get an open box. Don't know quite what's going on with that situation, but either way, sponsor this video. So thank you to Audio46 and to the Strauss & Wagner SWANCBT501. Really need to work on those names, guys. This is probably a little bit shorter than that. Anyway, these have a noise cancellation and Bluetooth 5.0. Is that what I just read? 5 minutes for every 5 hours of charging. So if you charge it for 5 minutes, you get 5 hours. That right off the bat is kind of worth it. So full review of these is incoming. I haven't done it yet. I love how they articulate in both directions. Is that too much to ask out of a headphone? Is that it articulates in both directions? Okay. So now there you go. We have 40 hours of playback time, 28 decibel noise reduction, clear call quality, impressive bass sound, 32-foot connection distance, and a Type-C fast charge. Thank you very much to Audio46 for sponsoring this video with this Strauss & Wagner ANC BT501. I'm going to remember that name now, and it's terrible. Anyway, you can also check out Audio46, by the way, for other things like LCD-X and Svocal Stellias and Foss XTH900s and Grado GS3000X. I didn't even know it went that high. Anyway, they got lots of cool stuff. And Audio46 is actually a physical store. I don't want to spin the wheel. No, stop. I hate when sites do that. I don't care if it's sponsored. Don't do that. Anyway, if you want to visit Audio46 headphones, it's a literal brick and mortar store on 29 West 46th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, New York, New York. I will eventually go there. We'll see how that goes. But today's video... How do I start this video other than that? So this, who remembers this? Well, you probably didn't get to see this, but this is the SHANLING EM7. And it was like between $700 and $800, depending if it was on sale. And I fucking love this thing because it's balanced out, quarter-inch out with the anime sticker, knob, screen, the VUs, the back. Like, do you remember me talking about this? It's Wi-Fi. It connects to your Spotify, your Amazon Music, your Apple Music. Power in, analog outputs, digital outputs, digital inputs, DAC inputs. You got a USB key here, Ethernet plug, or Wi-Fi. This was under $1,000 and could act completely on its own. Take your micro SD card in the slot on the side. It's a SHANLING. SHANLING makes players. I have a SHANLING player right there. So this was a hardwired desktop version of a SHANLING player. Sounded amazing. I took this into Capital Audio Fest last year. If you want, I'm actually going to be at Capital Audio Fest this year, looking for sponsors for that. I've already booked the hotel, but if someone wants to pay me for that hotel, that'd be great. I'll actually be in the hotel this year, which is wild. I've never actually been in the hotel at the event. But either way, I made that nasty. I brought this thing to there because this was the main hub. I hooked up another amp to it. I think I put some Musician Andromeda on it. I had fiber optic coming out, going to other things. I was feeding speakers with it. I brought the little amp. I did some micas. This thing was fan-fucking-tastic for under $1,000 to get a unit that could store the music internally or stream it from the internet via Spotify or Tidal or anything you want to log into. And then it had a good quality amplification, like 1.7 watts per channel out the front through balanced. And then it looked like this. It had the glass top and had a little diagram of everything and all these connectivity things. And it was for under $1,000. Well, let's put this on the floor and let's look at the new big brother, the EM7. I'm going to steal this cleaning rag because I can't stand it, which we're going to disconnect from everything. Which we're going to think about disconnecting from everything, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So let me fold the screen down. So here's the issue, everyone. We're going to get right to the meat of this subject, because you're either going to stick around for the whole video or you're just going to watch this first bit. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. This is $2,100. Okay? That was under $1,000, and this is over $2,000. And when I saw that price, I was like, oh, good. They're going to fix every problem I had with the EM5. Because I had problems. I had issues. The thing wasn't perfect. Had a lot of annoyances. It needed a remote control so that you could actually just physically point it and go next track because it had all this equipment hooked up to it. It needed the screen to certainly not be flat, which they fixed because now this screen, this is entirely metal and it just feels so nice and the screen just articulates up. And then there's your SD card reader back there and the whole thing just feels so fucking nice. Really didn't complain about the old one. Like, the bottom of this one's better. I gotta move some shit. The problem is they made it cost a lot more. A lot more. A lot more. $800 to $2,100 is a chunk. And they have improved the internals. I think it's got slightly faster processing power. And I know it goes from like 1.6 watts per channel and an AKM, that was an AKM DAC, to ESS DACs, I think dual ESS. You can see the diagram here. No, it looks like one ESS 9038 Pro. And they made it 7 watts a channel balance output. So this has power on the output, like a lot of power on the output stage. And they've also added a 3.5 millimeter, so you don't have to use an adapter, because that one, the old one, had these 3, and this one adds a 3.5. Fine. Fine. The back, what's added to the back? Because I just looked at the back of the old one, and when I put them side by side and compare, the only thing they've added to this, of any of this, is one more USB slot that says USB audio. And that would allow you to plug in a USB DAC and actually have this output and act as a host controller for that. That's fantastic. It's like the little Topping M50. The little Topping M50 was like $200. But I mean, that's still a cool thing that you don't have to just use a fiber optic output or a coax digital output or analog outputs. You could just have it actually host the USB itself, kind of like a phone would. That said, I just did a firmware update on this yesterday because I was like, oh, all right, I know how this works. I'm ready to do a review. Let's do a firmware update. And I thought it didn't break anything, but a lot of shit doesn't work now. So what I'm going to do is I just did a full fucking restart, like powered it off, which one of the other weird quirks about this unit is the power switch. On the old one, it was next to the power plug, but on this one, it's on the bottom, and I didn't know that was an option, but I guess if you put big enough rubber feet, you can put the switch literally there. And so they did. And now it's on, and now let's put it back on this Grovemade stand. Links to the Grovemade stand, because this thing is fucking fantastic. And we're going to talk about, I'm basically going to give it, I can make this a real short video. I can give it a real short video. I needed to turn on and work. We needed to turn on and work first. SHANLING EM7, beautiful screen, bigger than the old one, stands up. It's going to do the VU meters. It's going to be fantastic. While this is loading, let's talk about recommending this and probably not recommending it. Because I played with it on the previous firmware, and I played with it a little bit on this new firmware before it started not outputting from the front at all. They didn't change. To make the price difference go from $800 to $2,100, this thing should have had the remote control I asked for. Doesn't have it. It still uses the Eddict app. If you remember, if you watch my review of the EM5, I'm super excited. I'm super jazzed. That thing is amazing. It was lacking a couple things, but you know, they got around it. If I take my phone and I load up the Eddict app, it does a mirroring thing. So instead of like the Topping M50, the little M50 square box that, you know, it's Wi-Fi and UMPnP and all that shit, instead of that, what this particular unit does, and this type of unit in general does, is the Eddict app will connect to it and mirror its screen. So this screen, this horizontal screen, ends up on your phone. And you could touch it and go do all the things on the phone, and it does them here. So if you go to like local songs, it clicks local songs. If you click song, if you click play all, it plays. If you click the little icon here, you get the put on the Harmonic G200s. I keep wanting to call them P200s because they're planar, but they're G200s. Of course, they're gangster. Which I have plugged in. I have the DeArt Aurora. I've got the little .0. These both are getting reviews, probably on this desk, probably today. I've got the Geshelli Labs Arish 2 here, coming out of the balanced analog outputs. This one's getting out of the coaxial digital outputs. This one's actually USB if I plugged it in. The problem I've been having, is that works. Let's see if the problem, oh my God, that's tight. Let's see if the problem has resolved itself by me plugging this into the front, which, by the way, I want to point out that this is upside down. So where it's like an arrow and the 4 pins are on the bottom. Yeah, no, reverse that. 4 pins are on top. It's working. Oh, thank God. It literally stopped outputting from the front. And I was like, am I going to have to cancel this review again? Again? Please don't make me cancel this review again. It's very pretty. This is a very pretty unit. But now at least that was just a restart issue, because I did the firmware, then restarted it twice, then I tried to scan the card, and I restarted the card, and then I tried to do a scan, and it's like, I already scanned it. I'm like, okay. So let's just pretend that didn't happen. Let's talk about this unit. I don't think it's worth it over the EM5. Thank you for the review. Patreon, subscribe, star $5 a month, get you see reviews early, participate in yard sales, and look at loss of sound demos. $10 get you in the behind-the-scenes private Telegram chat, which lets you talk to me directly, ask me questions, interact with other $10 patrons, which puts you into a lifetime swap meet channel, where you can buy, sell, and trade gear, hi-fi guides, blah, blah, blah. I got to keep going. And wallpapers. I'll fix the wallpaper horde, by the way. I'm so out of reviews, I know that if I make this one, it's going to be seen immediately. That's why I did the ad preview. Wallpaper horde will be fixed. I'll redo the whole link if I have to. The problem with this unit is it's $1,200 more, $1,300 more, $1,300 more, $1,300 more. So they increased they changed the DAC from AKM to Sabre. Fine, I have no problem with that. I literally love Sabre DACs. They took over everything and I never hated them. They added more power. 7 watts a channel means now that it's working, I can do... This is what my life is like. I wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, just tangled in headphone cables. Oh, I just ripped the pad off of the fucking Neumann. I still haven't figured out what pads these are for the Neumanns. If anyone wants to take a crack at it, they can. I'm going to have to just put you down on the floor. Just pretend I never saw you again. I'm sorry, baby. You stay there. So yeah, 7 watts per channel out at 32 ohms, which these are 50 ohms. That gives you... upside down. That gives you quite a lot. And then what you do is you pull down, because it's Android, it's a locked version of Android 10 with a bunch of customization to it. Like, it doesn't actually run a Android update. You go into the thing and say firmware, and it downloads an entire firmware suite. So you get to pull down, you get these 7 buttons, which if you don't know what they are based on the symbols, you pull down again, then it reduces it to 5, then you could slide over and you have, here's your mode. Either it's a... And I don't remember if the old one had this problem, and I'm calling it a fucking problem. And they didn't fix it with the latest firmware. I thought the old one lets you do full lineouts of the analogs all the time with whatever's playing, and then you also had the control of the front volume. But apparently on this one, you have 2 output modes. Output mode equals phone. Is it going to scroll anymore? Is it not going to scroll anymore? Phone / preamp. So that means this and that work. The only other option is you press that, and it says, note, this device will switch to the line output. The volume is fixed output, cannot be adjusted, which panicked me, because I'm like, wait, does that mean the front? So we hit OK with that, then it's just the output in the back, full range, no volume control. It's just feeding other sources. That's fine, because I have volume control there. This has got its own digital thing. This has its own volume control. It's all fine. The problem is, it doesn't also output to the front. There's no third option. I want to have the outputting on the back happening, and then also have the volume control here for the front. That should be 2 separate entities, not one face of a coin, where it's like either headphones and the back are pre-outs, or no headphones in the front and only pre-outs and they're locked. Why can't I have both? I want to have both. So, okay, we're going to cancel that so I could keep this working. The other thing in this menu here, you get your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It will send and receive Bluetooth. It's got your input switching. You hit that, and it brings up this menu. We have local songs, which is the micro SD card, which is back there. We have USB DAC. It will plug into a computer. It acts as a USB DAC. It has coaxial optical inputs, and it has streaming services, which we go to that. It loads up. I have Spotify here that I've added, but there's also Chinese characters, and then Amazon Music, Apple Music, Tidal, Kugo Music, NetEase Music, Quobuzz, QQ Music, and Deezer. So I could hit any of those. You can sign into any of those, and it's on Wi-Fi, or you could wire it directly, and it'll be on those platforms. The benefit of that is your phone can still browse through things on Spotify and say, play this on this device, which would be a lot easier than trying to navigate with this, especially since I didn't have the fucking remote. A remote, even a shitty remote. They're just up, down, left, right, play, pause, next track. I don't want to interact with the app to control everything, because then I usually, if I have a phone, it's my phone, and I'm doing phone things, and I'm doing music things. What it needs is the same Hibby Link app like the M50 Topping uses. That shit spoiled me for $200. Fucking where is it? Where are you, you good bastard? Actually, I might put it back in the box. No, it's in the stack over there. Little tiny thing. And it's just like, oh, look, I could access all the music on the SD card through a regular list, hit play, and it plays over there, and then I could just switch between apps. This is a full fucking replacement window that takes over. I'm not even talking about this anymore. That takes over, and it's like, this is not how I want to navigate this, because this is kind of a clunky menu. Because, let's be honest, I have a thing for vertical screens. For movies, I don't want to watch a vertical movie. Vertical videos have only just started becoming like the norm, usually with pornography. But I want wide movies. I want to enjoy things on the wide. Even my browser, when I'm on my browser, I have my browser on my 4K screen, but it's on the side and it's kind of more tall than it is wide, because browsing should be this. So this, bueno, ne bueno. Because, like, if I go back to the streaming services, optical, coaxial, I go back to local songs, and I say, and your first option is scan songs. We don't touch that. And you have local songs playlist folder to navigate network services, which is things, settings, which we look at the EM5. The EM5 video will show you all the other things, because I don't have to go over them again, because nothing's changed software-wise. That's the biggest fucking problem. They built it nicer. They have the screen that folds up. It's still got, wait, if we put on Lowly Heart, Dr. told me, but watch this. And you could change the color of those to either be white or like old school, like tan and faded, but they stole the Marantz one. Remember the other big problem I had is you get this beautiful screen, and up here it says FLAC 44.1 16-bit 967 kilobytes. But what song is playing? It doesn't tell you. I would love. I have next track, last track, play, pause. I'll put up the settings here. I can go to the music list on the side. So I want to change songs. Fix, save by zero. The fix, save by zero. But it doesn't show me the song that's playing on this fucking screen. So it just shows me that instead of the song, and I have to go to this, and then it's not interesting because I don't care of it. So I have to bring up like the menu, and then be like, okay, that's what's playing. It's $2,100. $2,100. It has the same functionality, which was astonishing at $800. At $800, this is still for sale. Astonishing functionality to get out of a unit that does all of this for under $1,000. So now you're going to jack the price up to more than double. And you've improved the. I'm going to show you this in the pull down. Hold on. We have low gain, medium gain. It goes click, click. High gain. What we're talking about argons here, motherfuckers. We're not talking about some little pussy-ass headphone that don't know how to beat its fucking best friend in football and steal his girl. We need extra turbo, which shuts off the gain entirely and just punches it to 7 watts per channel. I also think it lowers the volume. So yeah, no. On extra turbo, out of 100, you die at 55. Oh, baby, I don't know. All right. I guess you guys want me to talk about sound for a little bit, even though sound is the least important part of this process. Because here's the thing. If you're concerned about sound and you know an amp or DAC that you want, this unit can hook up to it externally. Well, no. This unit, which is filthy, it's going to get more filth in it, so I'm not even worried about it, which is all glass on top. Here you go. This unit, which is $800, which is just feeding the signal out digitally or analog very well, by the way. I might add, AKM chip, great fucking DAC. I trusted it with my life. This unit can output to anything you want, digitally or analogically. And then you could have all the power and finesse you want. This was all about the convenience and control. It's got an SD card, does all your streaming services, it's not that expensive, it's great. So now, fast forward to 2022, we got this. I kind of, now I don't want to pay $1,300 extra for this to sound better. And it does. It absolutely sounds like a huge Shanling fucking player that rocks argons just all the way to the bank. But if I got the older one, I could have, you know, bought a stand that held it like this so that I could see the things. And I could have just had output to some, assuming the stand is $50, $1,250 DAC amp combo like a DeArt Aurora, or like the Burson, which is just an amp, or anything. It could output to anything else with your $1,300 you have extra of. So that means you're relying on Shanling to have added $1,300 in value to this unit. And have they done it? I don't know. I don't know if the power increase from this to this and the DAC change from this to this has made this $1,300 more worthy. They changed the case. They got the screen bigger, brighter, bolder. It stands up. You still have these weird, stupid floating buttons, which are your back buttons. You have to hit those to go back. Then you hit this one to go to source. And then if we got a coaxial, which the computer here is actually hooked up to it. Hold, please. Bring up the foobar. Dandelion is playing out of the front. Still very loud. 50 is still loud. So there's an external, and this is all it shows. It no longer uses the. That's it. It's kind of a negative because I think most people are going to buy this for the views. Like a lost source, it doesn't remind me of anything. So yeah, if as soon as you hit back, you are no longer in coaxial mode. I don't think it keeps playing. Hold on, let's see. Oh, it does keep playing. Can we get back to the VU meters? Hold on, we might be able to hack the system. We're trying to hack the Gibson now. So you can look at them, they just won't actuate because it's not taking into account the inputting. Fuck this. I'm just rubbing. You can't see me. If you could see me, you'd see me just rubbing my forehead. Like, please. Just greasing up my fingers so I could really get in there. That sucks. I was willing to give this a pass on a million fucking things it did that were annoying because it was so cheap for what it was. It was sounded as good or better than all the Shanling portables, and was this big desk unit which you really couldn't like. It was annoying, the screen, but I gave it passes because it did so fucking much. Well, this does the exact same thing with some slight tweaks. Screen comes up, way more powerful amplifier, still as good as Shanling amplifiers. Does it beat like topping A90D? Yeah, A90D. I'm like, D90A? No. Brain, you're working today. You can get this and an A90D and have another $700 to spend on literally a fucking PlayStation. Link to a PlayStation if you can buy a PlayStation in the description. So you can have this, an A90D, and still have enough money left over to fucking buy a go-kart. I gotta be the cheap motherfucker I started this channel with. Going from 8 to 21 is not a reasonable amount of increase for no added functionality. There's no added functionality. It doesn't do more than this one did. It's more powerful. It's better looking for sure. But other than that, and adding a 3.5 millimeter, like, I wouldn't put the sticker on this one. Mostly because it wouldn't look as good because they sunk in the things. But it's just, oh God, I want to love it so bad. Like the back of the screen here is also the same metal that's on this side. It's so well built. If this was $1,200 to $1,500, you know what? No, I'm $1,200. If this was $800, this was $1,200, 50% more money. In a heartbeat. Forget this, throw this out, this one. Because I just want that screen to fold up, it's worth it. You're gonna make this $2,100. You had better have fixed everything I complained about. I want a remote control. If this thing is sitting, imagine this sitting in your living room and you're here. Oh God, what did I run over? And the only way you can I get the Eddict app up and working? Hold on a second. I will do my best. Nice. I gotta demonstrate this. I want to end this fucking review because it's just like, no, if this exists, you buy this. If you need this, you buy this, and you add more things. Edict player. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go. It's not SyncLink. I tried that. Wireless projection. Searching for devices. A SHANLING EM7. Boom. There you go. Here's your remote control. So it's literally the exact. It just takes this. And the local songs, and you go to songs, and you can scroll down your list, and you could pick it. So this is fine, but again, I mean, it works, but like if it gave me a Windows, nice. Give me a Windows thing. There you go. At least I can change tracks. Why want to change tracks? Play pause. Please sign in. What is? It disconnected just from your old tabbing. This is not a replacement for a real remote control. I don't know who asked for this. Like, this is kind of cool. But I'm pretty sure this Edict player... Oh, God, now my whole phone is fucking weird. I'm pretty sure this Edict player can do SyncLink, which I tried to do earlier. Let's see, hold on. Abram Tech, Tribit, Stormbox Blast. Where are you? SyncLink controller. Please, all right, let's look for SHANLING. SHANLING, MW. No. Are you even in here? EM5. God damn it. This is every Bluetooth device I've ever had hooked up to it. Is it not? Oh, I shut off Bluetooth. I shut off Bluetooth. Hold on. Put Bluetooth on. Here we go. Come on. SHANLING EM7. We're going to try to connect. We're trying to connect. I will change this whole perspective. I will give this thing like a half a pass. Pair and connect. A pair. Yes, do it. Pair. Connected. Does this mean I can actually use it? Local music. It works! Oh my God, it works. Okay, thank God. Okay. I was just so angry. I'm still not happy it doesn't have an infrared remote. Also, why is that red all of a sudden? That's weird. So, okay, thank God. All right. Aren't you glad I don't do like full research and like kill myself? Because I need this excitement. It's not fun to be like absolutely 100% prepared for a review. Then Zeos is boring. So you can do this. All right. I will now go from my like, you know what, if this was $1,200, now that if it was $1,500, it would be worth it. It's still $600 too much money. I'm glad I can do this now though. This is nice. But it's an app that has to still run on my shit. But at least it does at least as good as a $200 topping M50. Shows me high res. So let's switch now back out to other. I guess what do I have plugged in here? Oh, here you go. Oh, I have these IMs I was hooking up with low gain, and okay, plug these in. So now here's the thing: the biggest issues still remain. That app thing is fantastic. But now I want to change this to line out. Unhide that notification. Cool. Oh, I gotta water my plants. Shit, I gotta water my plants. I might end this review just to go water my plants because I fucking skipped it. Forest of the People. It's changing the background. I think it's trying to blend the colors on the. I should probably, people who have OCD are probably looking at that and going, ugh. I think it's blending the colors of the fucking album art. There's no album art. Very black, it turned black. Come on, give me some of the colors. How do I not have Fatboy Slim's thing? Any Gypsy Kings, oh. I don't have enough album art. Yeah, it's a little bit gray because that's a little bit gray. I guess. Still doesn't tell me what the fuck's playing though. Anyway, I got thrown off because something actually good came out of this. It's just too expensive. This app thing working probably means it works that way on the EM5. That's not an EM7 thing. I'm just glad it actually has at least some sort of functionality. It's missing a real physical remote. This software hasn't been updated fucking at all. It needs to have options here. Album artist. What? Show me what to show. Artist? That's not helping me show it on the screen. It's playing. It's great that I could search it. Now the interface on the phone is more convenient than the interface on the fucking $2,000 unit. Because here it is. It's showing order, play an order, home, local music, recently played, device resource. What does that do? Nothing. It's not highlighted. Neither does my device or NAS. I got recently played though. So it doesn't even let you fully take over the unit and do. This is a hard one. Rock hard. Because I love the predecessor. Love it. But it was a price to performance thing. This did fantastically for $800. Like, this could be all you got in your desk. You don't want to use a computer? Put the SD card. You couldn't... I think this was for a USB... like a USB hard drive. You could plug it in next to it. Be done with it. Don't eat it. Same on this. This just happens to have USB host capability, which I will point out also that USB host, at least pre-firmware update. Let me see. USB audio here. Let's see if this breaks the fuck out of everything. Oh, I need my headphones here. Because this little tube amp. Here we go. Okay. So now a little tube amp is playing via USB. USB, right? I'm going to unplug it so I don't... Oh, they're ringing. Let's see if anything else is currently working. Anything else. Hold on, let's plug this in. No. No. I'm an organized individual sometimes. Science is but an organized system of ignorance. No. So as soon as you run, I'll even change the thing. Hold on. No. No. Let's double check that this is on the floor. See if the USB is still working. Hold on. Yeah. As soon as you use it as a USB host device, every other output doesn't work. Front, back, settings, nothing. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's fucking okay. It's fine. It's fine. Buy the EM5. Buy the EM5. If you don't want to hook up another amp, then you need 7 watts of power instead of 1.6, which 1.6 was plenty on this. Sounded beautiful. 7 watts is for like the absolutely absurd. There's like 4 headphones in my house. The 660 800 ohms, which is only 1/4 inch, so it really can't use that full power, but it'd be better than this. There's a T60 Argons, T50s. What are the other like really? I really need to know what the hardest to drive headphones are in my house. There's a handful of them that are just like, wow, these need power, but most of those there will just run. The SJYs will need a little more power, but most of these will just run. Easy to drive, mostly easy to drive. A little more power required, but not like extra turbo 7 watts. I even have the Rebel amp plugged into the back of it. Anyway, SHANLING EM5, still a great fucking buy. That's doing a thing. SHANLING EM7. Prettier. That's it. Link to this on Linsol at $2,100. Link to this on Linsol at $850. Is it $850 right now? I think it's $850. Yeah, it's $849 even versus $2,099 fucking dollars. However, it does come in silver, which looks fantastic. Both of them came in silver. I only ever saw this one in black. That one and this one in silver might be like, But again, you haven't done enough. You made the screen bigger and it tilts. You've changed nothing in the software. It's the same as the $800 unit, which is better than like what I expected out of it, but it's not, oh God, $2,000. You can get other streamers. The headphone amp section is better and improved, but like power-wise, like it still sounds like a Shanling player, which sounds amazing. But is that enough? Is it enough to just make it 7 watts instead of under 2 to add that sort of money? And then it's got all these fucking quirks that it doesn't repair. Like one thing where this will not work with any settings change, because I tried, until you unplug this physically. And now everything works again. So you gotta unplug, when you have to unplug something physically from your $2,000 fucking unit, because there isn't a fancy little, like, I need to be able to flip this switch magically while holding caviar. And then it's like, it's fine, haughty. I shouldn't have to unplug shit to make shit work. I should be able to plug everything in and everything work without fucking physically manipulating anything. And it doesn't work the way I want it to. And it should. It should have all the outputs in the back work, either lined or pre-outs, and the headphone amps work at the same time. It doesn't do that. And the app, at least the Edict Player app, I'm going to see if now the EM5, because if I do Capital Audio Fest, I tend to bring a bunch of shit there just so people can hang out in the room, try it. I'd probably bring the 5 again. Although the 7 does have, is that worth $1,300? Kinda. It looks really cool. Anyway, I already gave the spiel about Patreon and subscribe star in the middle of this video. I'll do it again. I'll be going to Capital Audio Fest. I'll be going to SoCal Can Jam, sponsored by Linsol, Deconi, currently Periapt, and Hi-Fi Go are all the 4 sponsors I have so far. I like to get a couple more because renting a Turo is fucking expensive, and flying out there at least is covered by Deconi, but the Airbnb is gonna have to hold 5 people, so it's like, it's a big one. It's beautiful, by the way. I'm gonna make a lot of content while I'm there. If you wanna hang out, well, just find me. I look like this. Wallpapers, again, I'll fix the wallpaper sync horde at some point, and links to this, and thank you again to my sponsor, Strauss and Wagner. Not just paint sprayers anymore, but Audio 46 is like, hey, we got a bunch of this stuff. Would you please review it? So I'm like, all right, cool. You want to sponsor it for this? Fine. But if it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. But not right now, because right now it's just a great, easily chargeable Bluetooth noise-canceling headphone. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Links to this. Don't forget to sponsor this. Link sponsor at the top, Zeos. And then we'll move on to these and wallpapers, and it's going to be a long day.